everybody.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, sorry we're late. Um, we had a few little technical glitches as usual. My fault this time, no worries. Hi Jamal, happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Hey, Debbie.
Okay, how was your weekend? Uh,
So, do we want to do Atlanta?
yes, we could do Atlanta. Like I told you before, I didn't make any notes. Um, I just sat back and enjoyed the show, if that makes any sense. And then I wrote down some random stuff afterwards of what I could remember.
There was a
But
show. Okay.
for Potomac, oh wait, which one did you say we were doing? Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Oh, I didn't watch that yet. Oh, I'm sorry. What
It
happened?
was.
Tell me.
Oh,
Because you said not to
I,
watch
I,
the first 4 episodes.
no, well, it was more like don't expect too much out of the first 4 episodes.
Hmm.
It's just, it was, it was okay, but it wasn't anything spectacular. We got to meet Drew and Latoya. But let's just talk about the reunion since you haven't watched Atlanta yet, and we can put Atlanta later on in the week.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's
I
okay.
need to wake up. Oh my God. It's been a rough day. Yeah, Potomac, that was kind of fun.
Potomac was. Give me a second. Sorry.
Oh, let's just go into the chat and see because we've got more people in the chat now. Hi, everybody in the chat. Um, let's see. I'm not sure if Gatatua is still here, but if you are, yay. Grainy Lambert, I know I'm saying that name wrong and I'm sorry. Trey, Farmata, Gina B, Dark Lily, Coach La Creme, Claire Esper, Aine, Pamela, V Harget, Rounds One, Black Lavender. Hey Susan, Angie L. Rusty Toddler, hello. Okay, I think I've gotten through everybody. Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome in to our little recapping session. Okay, so you start off, Jamal.
I mean, it was for me. This part one of the reunion was better than the whole season. Um, we got pretty much everything we needed. I mean, it was like they was coming at Giselle left and right. I mean, she just looked so uncomfortable. I was like, finally,
Yeah,
finally.
the last I would say 10 minutes of the episode kind of shooketh Queen Giselle. Like
Yeah,
you
she
saw
kind
her
of.
face. You saw it in her face. She was comfortable ish up until
Mhm.
that last 10 minutes and I was just like, damn.
Right, Andy was. I think this is one of the best moderating jobs Andy Cohen has done because he wasn't too involved. He was just asking the questions and letting the ladies do their thing. Um, where do you want to? Is there any place you want to start? Uh, in particular, any topics that stood out to you?
You know what? Okay, so remember when we did the dress review of the
Hmm.
ladies when they gave out, the images of what they were wearing? Remember I said a lot of the times I had to hold back judgment until I saw them seated and like the camera angle that they were taken at?
Right, I remember that definitely.
My opinions of the dresses completely changed. Like I loved Candace's dress because when she got into that frame, sitting, all you saw was that cute little bow, and she looked adorable. Um, I did not like Wendy's dress, because of all of the embellishment on it, it was so heavy it was flapping down.
Right.
But her hair and her makeup were like amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, and you know what? In that original photo that we saw of Robin, I didn't
Hmm.
realize she had like stripes in her hair. And I
Me
don't
neither. I wish I
think,
hadn't seen them.
yeah, and then I don't think her hairdresser got the memo on which side of the couch she was sitting on, because they parted
Hmm.
her hair wrong and like you couldn't see her face.
Right.
And it
I
was
didn't.
irritating me.
I wish I hadn't seen. I wish I hadn't seen the stripes.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
Mm-mm.
Um ugh,
It's like
well,
something.
yeah.
It's like, to me, Robin's hair was something you would see like a 15-year-old would do with their hair, like being funny, being fun, not as a more mature woman. If I'm speaking correctly, it just looked like something the little girl
Oh,
would do. They would go to like a fair or something and get like
yeah.
the non-toxic paint, and I think you know what I'm talking about. They
Or
have the
like a
stencils.
crimper. Like one of the, remember
Yeah.
those crimpers from the 80s?
Yes.
It was just very confusing to me. That's all. But again, like I wasn't sure about Candace's dress when I saw it from top to bottom. But then when she sat down and she was perfectly framed, she looked so pretty with just that little bow accent in the front. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but what should have happened with that dress, though, this is just my personal opinion. When you do a bow like that, I think the bow should have been a little bit bigger, and then it should have just been a nice little big, short, more baby dollish dress, and
Hmm.
left it at that. Because with her dress, it's just like the top and the bottom didn't go together.
True, but I'm gonna disagree with you on the size of the bow, and here's why. She's a very petite young lady. And you
Mm,
have to be careful getting things that are way too big on such a small
mm.
frame. Because remember last reunion when she had that big donkey feather on the side of her? It was disproportionate to her petite frame and it just looked odd. It was semi dangerous, could have poked out the person's eye next to her. Like you just I think the bow was the perfect size for her frame.
I think okay. When I say bigger, I meant more the bow should have actually been the full top of the dress. When I say bigger, like the
I
bow should. You know what I mean? I didn't frame it correctly. The bow should have been
uh,
at the whole top of the dress all the way around, and then baby doll at the bottom.
yeah. She could have
Versus like,
pulled off a mini dress because again
mm-hmm,
she's petite and showing off her cute legs. She could have done that. I don't
mm-hmm.
know.
Just
But
the
yeah,
top and the bottom didn't match.
yeah. And again, like this is not the fault of the person wearing the dress. It is the fault of the designer. With Wendy's dress, the embellishments, the crystals or whatever were just too heavy, and there was not enough like heavy gauge facing on the back of the dress to keep that in place. So it just like flopped down and it irritated me. And I think when Karen sat down and we didn't see those strips of cloth at the bottom of her dress, it looked great, and the hair
Mm-hmm.
actually made more sense when she was sitting
Mm-hmm.
down.
With Wendy's dress, since the color was so good on her, she didn't need any embellishments. The dress would have just
Yeah.
been fine.
Hmm. And her hair, like I'm not a wig guru like you are, but the hair, the piece, the wig, or whatever it was, it looked amazing. It gave
No,
me
everything's.
like Rita Hayworth, 1940s glam. It was beautiful.
Wendy just looked great all the way around, though. Like, she definitely probably read the comments and took notes and made a few adjustments, and she looked fantastic. So I was, I was thoroughly impressed. I will say this: I'm not a fan of yellow as a theme.
It's a hard color. I'm so surprised that they picked that just because they went to Portugal. Like there wasn't another color they could pick.
I well, I thought when he said when I heard it was gonna be a Portugal theme, I envisioned. I'm not sure if you were in the same realm. Like they were going to go more pastel, like
I
the
was thinking red.
reds and blues and yellows, and I thought that's where I thought they were going to go. When they said yellow, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be kind of hard because of the different complexions. And I was just like, it's not going to work. And we were right.
Yeah. Oh well. Well,
Yeah.
that's enough of the fashion review. Because we did that already. But yeah, they all looked great, better than me right now. Um, okay, so what do you want to dig into first? Um,
Let's see. What's the. Oh, let's talk. I do want to talk about um the businesses, if we could start there.
oof.
That was hilarious. I'm sorry. I was like, whoa. Karen just went straight for the kill. She's like, so what's going on with Everhue?
Yeah,
And then when she said her manufacturer due to shutdown due to COVID, I'm like, not the manufacturer.
that
That
did
has nothing
well.
to.
Wouldn't you
Go ahead.
get another manufacturer if you were still
Right.
solvent or insolvent or whatever it is? Like,
Yeah.
how? And they give you notice. They give you notice, where you could try and find another manufacturer. But yeah, it didn't make sense to me. But then again, I'm not a business person. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Right. I was thoroughly confused because when you say your manufacturer line business, your manufacturer doesn't control your business. What you do is you're like, okay, your manufacturer shuts down. Like you said, they normally give you notice. So all
Hmm.
you do is really find another manufacturer. So that didn't ring true to me. And then when Karen kept trying to give her like a chance, she just wouldn't take it. And when she said her Target liquidated you, I was like, wow. And let me
Yeah.
see if I can find that article real quick. Because I remember I mentioned this article a little while ago. I just want to pop it back up real quick. So sorry. Uh,
Mm-mm. But yeah, but that started off as a viewer question, didn't it? Because yeah, because
right.
Andy said, somebody tried to go on your website, but it's not working, and that's all Karen needed to go in.
That's all. I mean, that's all she needed, and she was not holding back. And I do not blame Karen for that because the way that she treated Karen.
Hmm. I love
So
how
I
she
was
also
like, "Are you
plugged her own businesses. Karen is smart. She's like, La Dame is on bloomingdales.com and hsn.com.
right? Right?"
Ever the smart businesswoman.
She doesn't miss a chance to do the get her businesses out there, which is what you're supposed to do. That's what Housewives is all about. Is like, and
Hmm.
I think Bethany said it best. If you're on Housewives and not building a business, pushing product, blah blah blah, she's like, then why are you here? And I agree with her. So according to a website called Lipstick Alley, and this is back in August,
Hmm.
the website is down and Target is liquidating all their products. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yikes.
So, and then another article came out saying people seeing inventory under a liquidation company on Amazon. So basically, based on all of these um, articles, it was liquidated. Like basically, it's being liquidated, and that's what's happening. Because
It's kind
yeah,
of crazy that there was this avalanche on Giselle this season. Well, at this reunion. And someone in here says, okay, all right. So Kush Lacreme says Giselle has years of shade owed back to her. And it's true because, and this is going to be a biatch because she's never taken any blows at all throughout
hmm
all these 5 years until
hmm
now. And that's why it seems like a lot. But she's got it owed to her. Hope she's
hmm
got, a strong back. Mm. What
yeah,
what did you think of the colorism or colorist um segment of the show?
For me, I understand Wendy's stance,
Mhm.
but I don't think it applies in this particular um instance,
Mhm.
because you were being aggressive, and that's no lie. Like, what are you talking about? The word describes your action. Just because it triggers something in you doesn't mean it
In which
applies to
instance
everyone.
though? In which instance are you referring to? The one where they were at the lake house, the
Yeah,
Ashley, Wendy.
yeah, she was being aggressive.
Um,
She was being aggressive. And here's the part I don't like is, how can I put this the right way? I feel that she was trying to put angry and aggressive in the same boat. Because when people speak in stereotypes, they don't say the aggressive black woman. They say the angry black woman. So when you bring in terms of colorism, I really feel she's trying to make synonyms between angry and aggressive when that's not the case.
but you know what? I had a problem with what Wendy was saying. When she said use a different word.
Yeah, I like
Um,
no.
no matter what word you use that's a synonym of aggressive, they're still going to bring it back to being aggressive. How about you not flipping out over something like that? Um, if she want like if this was about bringing the baby, if she wanted to bring her baby, why didn't she say so?
Hmm.
Because I'm sure Ashley spoke up real quick and said, I want to bring my baby because I can't be detached from this child.
Right, but going back to the other topic, I don't think colorism plays anything in this, because even Giselle said, like, I've been called aggressive. I believe Ashley's been called
Hmm.
aggressive. You know, I mean, I just don't, and it exists. Let's not play pretend. Like,
Hmm.
colorism exists, and the stereotypes are out there. Well, I'm just saying that I agree with Wendy's stance, but it does not apply in this case. Because
Oh,
when I look at the scene, like, I went back and watched it. I'm like, yeah, you were being aggressive, but aggressive does not mean angry. It just means you're being more forceful. To me, it means you're being more forceful than the situation called for.
and this
So,
is a good comment here. And colorism and aggressive only refers to her and Candace, not to Monique.
right,
You can't pick and choose
right, and then,
um, when that
but
happens.
they were okay, and like Monique said, you guys were okay with you were okay with calling me ghetto and a hood rat. Like, those aren't stereotypes.
Yeah.
So you can't, like, this perfect. Yanni made a very good point. You can't pick and choose when when rules or things apply. You have to apply them all the way around. For me, I felt Wendy was trying to use the whole colorism thing to excuse her behavior, because
Hmm.
she how she looked. It's okay to say, like, you know what, I overreacted. I was aggressive for no reason. Aggressive is not a bad word, but you don't try to make it synonymous with angry, because they're not. You could be aggressive without being angry.
Shoot, you know when you're taking those, when you're applying for jobs and you're taking those personality tests, aggressive comes up all the time. And in sales, it's
Hmm.
kind of you need to
Oh,
be
they want you.
aggressive.
They want you.
It,
They want you,
they
because
want you to be aggressive
they
because you know.
because isn't the opposite of aggressive passive? So
Hmm.
so I don't think they want passive on the job on the job sheet. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
because it means that you're if you're not aggressive, you're not a good closer. So,
Right.
you know, I guess it's just in the situation that you're in. Um, th- I guess it all boils down to we have to remember that our words matter just as much as our actions matter. And I think someone said earlier, maybe not yelling and screaming at
Right.
people, and you won't get called that.
Right.
Aggressive, belligerent, angry, what have you.
Hmm.
But Monique made a good point. She said it was an appropriate word to use in describing your behavior in that moment,
Hmm.
you
I
know?
agree. I thought she was aggressive. No, the reason why I thought she was aggressive because her voice. She stood up, her voice raised, and that conversation didn't warrant that reaction.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Do you want to stay on Wendy and Ashley? Because there was another topic that came up which I thought was very interesting.
which one?
How Ashley feels Wendy weaponizes her education
Oh,
against the other ladies. What was your? I want now. What I'm gonna let you go first. What were your thoughts on that?
in a way she does. And in the instance, the situation with Ashley where she said, people like you
Mm-hmm.
call me Dr. Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, people like who?
Mm-hmm.
We had that same issue with Johannesburg with
Mm-hmm.
with Crystal calling you people.
Mm-hmm.
It's all like she does. Okay, I'm proud of Wendy for having 4 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I have one, just barely, and kudos to her for going to school and doing all of that hard work to get those degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to her for also winding up in so much debt. Um, but okay, I'll remind me to come back to that. But if I had 4 degrees, which would be a flicking miracle, but if I had 4 degrees, I don't see how I could bring that up in everyday conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm not that smart.
So yeah, I mean, well, I was thinking like, well, you do use it because it's what you have. It's
Hmm.
you, that's what you do. Like when she said people like you call me Doctor Wendy, I was like, ma'am, don't do that. Because I know a couple people who have the PhDs. I had to ask them a question. I'm like, hey, like I watch reality TV. They're like, oh, are you gonna ask me? This one of them. She asked me, are you gonna ask me about Potomac? I'm like, yes. She's like, I watch it too. She's like, I'm like, does this happen in real life? Be honest. She's like, no. She's like, no. Like people who have PhDs, we don't talk about them. Um, only in a professional setting would you use um your your doctorate. So the way she explained it is this: people who are doctors, they would not call themselves doctor in real life. She's all there are people who do, and those are people who are insecure. So whenever you find someone who has a ring with their degrees or their doctorate or their doctor or this and that in like everyday life, like meaning outside their profession, that's a sign of insecurity. I'm like, okay, so do you think Wendy's being insecure? She's all, yes, she still has some insecurities. She's all, part of it's insecurities, part of it is her Nigerian culture, because they think education is like the highest honor, blah blah blah. Like her own mother said. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, so she's doing too much. She's like, yeah, she's doing too much. She's doing way too much. I'm like, okay. So taking like that conversation and looking at Wendy, I'm like, yeah, your insecurities are showing. Like you are prideful, but you're also boastful, and you want to make it seem like you're better than because you have these 4 degrees and your doctorate, and it's super cool. But on the flip side, my thing is this: there's no way I would run around talking about like I have these 4 degrees, I'm a doctor, and this, and that, but you got like allegedly, according to multiple articles, you got buku debt. I'm just saying, it's just like don't make it seem like you're better than when you're more worse off than a lot of other people who don't have a degree.
Hmm.
So
And
go ahead, go ahead.
no, and I heard this on an earlier show. You referenced the debt.
Hmm.
Now, if you're smart enough to get 4 degrees, how come you weren't smart enough to get scholarships and grants?
Somebody else said that in another chat. Like,
Yeah, and I never really thought of that. I would, because I'm dumb. I never qualified for anything like that. So, I had to work. I had to
right?
work to get my degree, and my mom helped me, and but it was a long slog, and I knew because I was dumb. I did it for her because I have a Caribbean mom, and I slogged through it, but I wasn't going to waste any more of her money or my
Hmm.
time going for advanced degrees. I'm not smart. It was waste. So, like, I think she's smart.
Oh yes.
She is, and she presents herself very well. But how come, like, I don't see how 4 degrees could get her into $1.5 million of debt. Is that it? It has to be something else besides schooling.
Let's see. But it's probably 1.5 million. But we also have to take into account the interest on each loan. So you don't know how many loans are out there. And from what I understand, it's her and her husband's degrees together because they each have 4 degrees. She said,
Right, but if they're so smart to have 4 degrees, couldn't they have gotten a scholarship for at least one?
"Hey, I
A
don't know
grant?
something."
That's a lot.
Like
Like
I'll
I
just
would
go
I would
ahead.
have had to tell mom to stop it too.
Like for me, I didn't go off to school. That was a hard choice because at that time I knew people who were going to school. They were taking out. It was when you could take out loans and there was no issue. This is back in '96, so you could apply for a loan and get them. I didn't.
Mhm.
I said what I wanted to do was business administration. I'm like, well, do I really want to go to school, take out debt, just to pay interest on this debt, and then spend years paying it off, or I can go to learn by work and do that. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take this chance. I'm just going to work and get in a place where business is a focal point. So I wound up in the fitness industry doing operations. So it worked out for me. I said
Mhm.
everything I've learned on the job these past 20 years. Yeah, I could have gotten in school, but it wouldn't have really done much for me. I would just spend extra money I didn't need to.
Mhm.
So that's just unless you're for me like going to college is great if you're going to be like a specialist. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like if you're wanting to specialize like lawyer, doctor, like CPA, things that are specialized, go to school for that. Definitely do that. But for if you just want to do something a little bit more like flexible, like something you can actually learn on the job, I would do it that way and save the money. Because I know people who literally just got done paying off their student loans.
I don't know. I stayed home. Like, people go away to school and go to
Mm-hmm.
different states. I stayed home. I stayed local. I went to a university in the CUNY system in New York City, and it's what my mom could afford.
Yeah, no, I mean, most of the people I knew went off to school, and those are the people who have all that debt because they had to pay the loans on top of the out of state fees.
Yeah.
So, I mean, get some education if you want it, but if you're not doing a specialized thing, I just wouldn't do it just because the amount of interest they charge on the loans. I said I couldn't do it. I'm good. I think I'm the better for it because everything I've
Hmm.
learned on my jobs has been amazing, and I've gone into places. They're like, "Oh, hey, like, do you know them?" I'm like, well, yeah, I learned this here. They're like, "Oh, where'd you go to school?" Didn't like I on the job training. What I do is not specialized. What I do is you can learn the skills to do it. So if you can learn
Hmm.
the skills on the job and get paid, why not do it? Like, would I like to come to go to school? Yeah, but knowing that it wasn't necessary, nah. But
Well,
it's cool that her and her husband got those degrees. But
yeah.
my whole thing is this: like, how are those degrees um helping you pay down your debt? That was my whole thing. And then we have to remember as well, like if you guys have all these degrees and are so educated and have these great careers, how come you were renting for the prior 8 years. You just got the house for this show. Like, I
Did
that just
they
didn't make
buy this
sense.
house or are they renting it like every other
No, no,
housewife?
this one's a bot. So like, from what I've read, like when they found out they would be considered for housewives, they hurry up and bought this house.
I wonder if that's part of the debt.
It's not.
Oh,
Let me just double check. 'Cause I believe it's just the degrees, the education of both.
wow. Can you imagine what their monthly payment plan is? Jeez.
Yeah, that's the thing. If the numbers are accurate, yeah, because I'm like that's a lot.
Oh, staying with Ashley, what did you
Hmm.
think about the mess that Andy started between her and Candace regarding the songs?
He was just being messy. Let's just call a thing a thing. But um, now how can I put this politely?
God.
Candace really didn't lie because I watched Ashley's music video
Mm-hmm.
and the song. It's the lyrics. I got where she was going. I mean, I can overlook some lyrics. Then you take into account the vocals. Yes, it's auto tune city.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you put it all together with the video made no sense.
Who? Ashley's?
Ashley's the video makes no sense. Like we'll say her dancers,
Mm-hmm.
they were all in jeans and white t-shirts, but they were all different types of jeans and all different types of t-shirts. Um, and in the video, Michael was paying more, like the way the video was set up. Michael was it was supposed to be about him and Ashley, but the Michael seemed to be more interested in the guy at the bar than Ashley.
Okay. Did she make this song while she was on Housewives?
Yeah, it's about 2 to 3 years old.
I'm I'm grateful that I don't remember this.
I don't think it was featured on the show though. I don't think it's in the show. But it just when you put it all together, it was like, oh, Ashley Boobokins, you tried. She tried hard. She tried hard. It didn't work well, but she tried. Now, Kansas song, I can appreciate it because she has a nice voice.
Mhm.
But I felt bad for like the the audio issues, and
Well,
I'm
that
not
wasn't her fault.
no
She didn't do
a mic
a
check,
sound check. Yeah, yeah.
and then but where was I going with this? I was gonna say something about Candace because I'm not familiar with Go Go,
Hmm.
so I don't know enough to know what it should sound like and what's good or not. So I was like, okay, I know her voice sounded good, but I couldn't tell like was her song on the Go Go like was the Go Go Bop. But everyone who's listens to it who were there, they liked it. I'm like, okay, so it must be good for that genre. Okay, credit to her.
Hmm. Good for both of them for being able to sing because I can't. There you go. All right. So, what else are we missing until we get to the very end of the episode where the binder actually comes out?
Oops, I think I didn't catch you. I'm sorry.
What else are we missing in the episode prior to the binder coming out? Oh, Trey has a comment on the song.
Okay,
It's what I would consider go-go light. We need to
okay.
investigate.
We do. I'm gonna have to go to YouTube and look. Go Go. What is it? Because everybody was kind of like they was doing this little box. So like, oh, okay. Well, when I see people who know about that kind of music, like they're into it. I'm like, okay, so it must be good. Because who am I to judge something I don't know about?
I will say it sounds better than the original version of the song.
Yes, 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 yes. Giselle mentioned that in the episode. She's all like, but that wouldn't take much. I'm like, oh, I'm like Giselle, stop it. But yeah, I was like, okay, Andy was wrong, but they handled it well, so that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we go to? Where do we go to next?
But like I said, I didn't make notes during the episode. I just sat down and watched it. So those were the main things that I put down afterwards. Um, until we got to the someone said
Binder.
the opening of the Kraken or something like that.
Yeah, release the
Release
Kraken.
the Kraken. Oh my God. Okay, so it started innocently enough. Karen talking about well, no, Karen went in early talking about Giselle's bad dress and the ugly home decor.
Oh, that was hilarious.
And everybody agreed on how badly she dresses.
Like when Candace said, Giselle, I would just like you to get with a really good stylist just one day. I was
Mm.
like, Candace. I'm like, I'm like, just one day because you're a beautiful woman and blah 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 blah. And everyone like it was funny how Giselle tried to put this all on Karen. Like Karen's like turn the whole world against her fashion. It's like, well, no, we've been saying this for years. And then when Robin said something, and like she looked at Robin like, "How dare you speak against me?" That was
She's got
funny.
to let Robin have a thought of her own.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Um, and then towards the end, they picked up on Pastor Jamal Bryant.
Yep. But real quick,
Mm,
Rusty Tyler said Karen went in on Giselle from the jump. That is
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Karen, Ashley, Monique was on ready for Karen because but we knew this before the season started though. The blogs had been coming out saying like, you know what, this is the season Giselle's gonna get it. Particularly Karen is sick of Giselle, like she thinks Giselle's being fake and phony, blah blah blah. So we kind of knew this. We knew this. So this is to me, this is not something like surprising, especially seeing how the season played out. We knew Karen was
Hmm.
coming for Giselle's neck. So I'm not gonna sit here and play pretend like this is some huge shock that Karen just jumped on it from gate. So
I think
yeah,
the only person who was shocked was Giselle.
I think so. And
I
she
don't
was
think anybody expected the attack to be from so early and throughout the entire episode. She found a way to pivot everything back to an attack on Giselle, which was very masterful.
But the funny thing is, it was masterful because it was all true. That was
Mhm.
the cold part. It's like that's why I try to explain to people, you can never go wrong telling the truth. And because when you tell the truth on someone, they get really offended, like really offended. If they're not willing to own their truth, that's when they get offended, and it's the best revenge is to tell the truth on
Mhm.
somebody. Because when she broke out the whole like um what was the first thing? It was the
Her
fashion.
clothes,
Her
yeah.
clothes, her style, her home, um,
And then
decor,
the
all the stuff.
business.
Then the business.
Yeah.
Um,
What else?
then we got to the Jamal factor. It was those
Yeah,
3 points.
Jamal was near the end
Yes,
because that's when the binder came out.
right. That's when the binder came out, and like
And it's
it was
almost
just
like she tossed up that ball. She's like, I'm done for now, girl. I'm gonna toss up the ball, and Monique, you come and you bat it away.
because you knew like the way it was set up. You Karen knew about the receipts. She had to because um oh hold on a second. Uh,
True. This is true. It's not an attack if it's all facts, but I'm sure that Giselle feels like it's an attack. And because it's so long overdue, it just seems like a lot that they're
hmm
piling on. And not that I'm mad at it. It's just so long
hmm
overdue she's gotten away with four reunions with
Hmm.
not a scratch.
Right. But see,
You
now they're
know.
calling. I think what it is though. This is if we're being fair to Giselle, and I want to
Hmm.
be. The reason why she's gotten away with so much because she hasn't had so much stuff come out um, about her until this year. If you're thinking about it, the business got liquidated this year. She quote unquote got back with Pastor Jamal this year. So this is the first season where they really have some stuff to just go in on her. You know what I mean?
Oh, Monique says something about her bringing a different man every year. I only
Man,
remembered what was his name? Walt? No, not Walter. That's the wrong show. Um, the guy that she had before Jamal.
mm,
Um, damn, what's his name? Does anybody in
Sherman.
the chat? Sherman. I only remember Sherman and Jamal. Did I miss somebody?
I thought she was dating. I thought she was dating somewhere. Um, I thought she was dating a couple of people in there somewhere that we didn't really know their names. I remember her saying that she was dating, but no one significant though. No one like that she
Yeah.
brought on the show.
So yeah,
So
that was the only thing that I questioned. But then again, they run in the same circle, so I guess they would know what isn't on film versus what is. Thanks guys for reminding me Sherman. I couldn't remember his name for anything. I
I
guess
like Miss
Sherman is
Pretty,
interchangeable with Walter at this point.
right? But I like Miss Pretty Lee Random's
Ah,
comment. She said, "Hold on, let
and
me
then
find
another
it.
guy.
It's not an attack; it's returned energy." I like that.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
like that a lot.
Mhm.
What else? Let's get to the binder. So Karen knew, but I think Karen knew about the receipts,
Mhm.
and so she served that up so well to Monique, and Monique just took the ball. She said, "I got you." And when she pulled out the binder, I'm like, "Okay, this is interesting." But what I found interesting, let me go. I'm not sure if I'm going forward or backwards. My apologies. But when Monique said I got a tab for everybody, including myself, I was like, "Okay, you about to put it all out there if we need to." So I thought that was cool. And when she took the
I apologize.
the 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 screenshots out, I'm going to look at this comic clip. Pauline S says she went below the belt in using the kids to attack Giselle,
I don't
but
think so. It was
but
return
it was
energy.
return energy
Mhm.
because Giselle was trying to help perpetuate a rumor about Chase not being Chris's baby. So my thing
Yeah.
is this. And I'm gonna say it like this. People may not agree with me. You're going to get what you give, and you can't do to other people and not expect to get the same in return.
And
I
what did she say about the kids? Like,
She
didn't she
said
just say the fact that they weren't into the relationship?
right, right.
It's what they said on the show.
The kids let it be known they weren't happy about it too. That was what kind of threw me off a little bit because I think most kids were, oh my gosh, my dad is our mom and dad can get back together. They was like, nah, we ain't into it. And this goes back to another point I always said. Kids under 16 should not be on reality TV
Yeah.
because when you do that, you open them up to being public figures, and therefore, as public figures, they are fair game to be talked about. Granted, I don't think kids. I don't. I don't like kids on TV anyway. Just my personal taste.
Mhm.
But if you do that, understand they are public figures. You've done it to them. They're fair game. Um, Going back to well,
Did
she
y'all
pulled up
already talk about why Robin wore a wig that her boys ran over with their bicycle?
Gina Maxie. That's so wrong. That's so wrong. That's so wrong.
Oh my God.
Oh,
You
that's so
guys are
cool.
too much. That leave Robin Wig alone. She's gonna get a freebie from Karen, hopefully. Mm. Okay, yeah, like I don't
So
agree with the kids being on
nope,
there. I'm with you
nope,
on that, but
never.
they did put their kids on there,
Oh yeah, that's what.
you
Yeah,
know.
that's why I'm not
But
mad.
there's a difference. Like Chase is a baby. You're questioning
Right,
his paternity, and his dad is there. Come on now. And you
so
don't even have any receipts on that. Like that's hurtful.
right. So to finish this up, Monique takes out the screenshots. They think she's lying until Monique reads off the phone number.
Wait,
Um,
who was it who asked Giselle, are you in a relationship with Pastor Brian?
that was Karen. Karen started that off. Karen started Karen started off. Just Monique took it when she read off the phone number. Um, when thanks Trey. Um, she read off the phone number. Andy was like, is that Jim Hall's phone number? And she was like, yeah. And they were like, Wendy was stunned. Andy was like, okay, what do I do with this? And Monique just went through read the text messages. Like, you confirmed the phone number, so she just read off the text. They just read the text messages.
Yeah.
And there was nothing she could say after that. There was nothing. Like, her whole face cracked. And I was like, normally I would feel bad for somebody in this situation, but for you, I do not.
I'm surprised that she confirmed that it was indeed his number.
She had to at that point. You you can't
Oh,
you can't you can't go. What they could have done is like, okay, then what's the phone number in your phone?
it was just masterful. It was brilliant. It was like the best way to end off the show because now I want to know what else she has in there. Her tabs are former friend. I have yet I don't know who that is. Post it, Wendy, Robin, and Last Lady. Those are the tabs in her binder.
Oh wow,
Zeal.
wow. I mean, this
So
like I said, this episode, this part one was better than the whole season. I
it
mean,
was.
the fact I mean, I had to suffer through. I'm so mad we had to suffer through the whole season just to get to this. And there's probably what, two more parts to this. This is gonna be good.
And what was hurtful was that the text messages in there, he said, this was just for
Wow,
reality TV.
right? That, oh my dude, like, and you could tell that her feelings were hurt,
Hmm.
even if it was, even if it was not real. It's still hurtful because people have to remember, as much as we rag on them and we give our commentary, we still have to remember she is the mother of some of his children.
Oh my God.
And
Oh, and when
and
they
no
started
man,
counting down the kids,
and then
yikes.
and I always feel this way. No man should ever disrespect any of his baby mothers. Never. It should not happen. Um, Even if you feel that way, it should not be put in writing. It shouldn't be said. Like, it's completely disrespectful. So in that realm of thought, I felt bad for her because to hear the father of your children speak about you in this manner, not cool, not cool. But overall, she deserved in my opinion.
Well, I don't think it's done yet.
No, it's not. It's
And
not done.
this might be the first time that of the three-parter, the second part might not suck.
Right, because it's normally the second part's filler.
Yeah.
And then
But
I'm waiting for the whole plot to come out. That's when it's going to get good because Chris Samuels is not happy.
oof.
And we
Okay.
people for I will say this before we go on.
Mhm.
People forget that we have to remember, like, the women have watched this season back before the reunion.
Mhm.
So everything's coming back to them. They're seeing what people said behind the scenes. And then we also have to remember before the season started, there was so much in the blogs about this particular season. So
Mm-hmm.
when you combine what we've seen before the season, you take what they've gone through during the season, and then you take into account they rewatch the season before the reunion. Yeah, it's gonna be some hurt feelings on that stage because
Mm-hmm.
of all the accusations, what's documented, the things that were said, the things that have transpired.
Yeah.
You,
They're
yeah,
reopening old wounds,
oh yeah,
and it's like the third reopening, you know.
hmm
It's ugh, ugh,
and
ugh.
then we have to also remember like the cast are friendly with some of the bloggers. We know this
Oh
as a
yeah.
fact.
Mm-hmm.
We know this as a fact. There's no denying it. So yeah, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. This season was a lot.
Well, I have somebody in the back, so a very festive individual who I'm going to bring up right now.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, we gotta jump into it. We're gonna start. We're gonna do the fight last. So this is
Mm-hmm.
what Robin did with her hair. Robin had her hair done right, and she was dyeing her weave, right? I mean her hair, right? But then she forgot that when you dye your hair blonde and you have a Walmart bag on it, that it will have streaks in it when you dye your hair. You gotta dye it with the correct type of bag, a bag that has no writing on it. So that's how you saw the cheetah print and all of that. And she was like, "Ooh, girl, I'm gonna just make this a style. We gotta
Oh
go in
my
the fashions, honey." You know what? I take back what I said for Karen. Karen and her shake and go wigs was atrocious. And even though I'm okay with the blonde, some blondes are just too blonde. It's time for Karen to get a whole new hair. And if we're gonna drag about fashions, whose fashions is up there? I mean, Giselle looks tacky, 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 but Karen, you ain't no better with all your etiquette. Now, here's what I would say about the colorism thing. They know better as black women what to say and what not to say, and about the aggression. They know better. And they know when you say it about a dark skinned woman how it's portrayed. There are things you don't say to people because you know better. And they knew better. And it was like Eva. It's one of those shady reads, and they did it. And I said they better watch that colorism thing because colorism sat there and destroyed basketball wives. Don't get too comfortable with these slick comments you make because you'll have
I
your whole
agree.
show canceled.
Mm-hmm.
They knew calling her aggressive is going to be problematic when you have a predominantly African American audience and you know a lot of them are dark skinned. That's just a word. You can use it if you want to be shady like me, but you come with that same energy when they check you on it. And that's my problem with people, especially in the show. They always want to read, and then when somebody checks them on it, then they want to push back. Well, you called me ghetto. You call me this. You call me that. Monique, you bopped a girl on national television because you were mad at your husband. And then let's get down to it. Where the whole Wendy and her degrees. While her degrees are an achievement, everybody knows how I feel about education. I don't think getting married is an achievement. I don't think children are an achievement. They're nice, they're wonderful, but everybody can do it. I think where Wendy gets it messed up is while you have a degrees, and that is an accomplishment because they don't give those for free. Ask me, I bought a very expensive one. But she has the right to promote her degrees. When you're a doctor, you're going to promote that because not everybody can be that. Where she gets it mistaken is that's all she is. You have to show a little bit more of your identity. It can't just be, I have 4 degrees. Show us you're a Nigerian. Show us what tribe you come from. Show us more about Wendy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Then we have to get to the whole thing about Monique and her reading. Now, you know I'm the queen of reads, right? But there's one thing I don't read people on, and that's their mate. And I'm going to tell you why. reading somebody for your mate will have you looking crazy in these streets. Because I'm not going to check Jamal, even though I thought it was hilarious. Brava, Monique, and Karen, and y'all coming together. But all of y'all have relationship issues. And Giselle is very petty. Don't think because you got her down this season, she won't go in your timeline, have Chris's mother on the show dragging you. Don't play this game unless you're willing to go all the way. Because while she got her this season, I'm going to give it to her. I'm going to say Monique for the win. Your marriage is not as clean as you may think it is, and neither is Karen. I'm sure if we go back, we'll find many different side chicks and all of that. So watch when you play with people's relationship, especially when your relationship isn't clean.
I'm gonna say this though. The read was let's go back. The beginning read was a simple fact that her relationship was fake.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna sit here and play pretend like, well, she's reading a relationship. The relationship doesn't exist. It's been debunked. So for me, that's that on that. So again, they started by trying to come for her family. So if you gonna play that game with me first, I'm gonna play it back at it with you. And when I play with you, you gonna get hurt. So let's not.
I'm not saying she was bad at doing it. And let's be clear. I'm saying the obvious with Michael. Michael is sitting here throwing his peen to every man in the DC area. I'm simply stating what is true. But you won't see me sit here and dragging somebody about, well, I mean, I'm going to drag them with their fake relationship because that's what they show on the television show. But I'm not going to be on stage sitting around a woman I know with a fake television show when I know my house isn't clean. No, I'm not.
Are you talking about Ashley or are you talking about Monique? Because Monique was the one who.
I'm talking about Ashley because I do drag Ashley and Michael because.
Oh, you talking about Ashley? Oh, yeah. Ashley. Oh, yeah. Ashley just should sit down with her pre, post, and baby nubs and be rich. Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
But I feel when you're on a show, like, because I've been in this, because everybody I know who used to drag people for their relationships, then the tide comes around and now people are dragging them for theirs. And I'm saying, y'all all like communal, peen. If I was going to marry communal peen, I'd marry communal peen. But I'm not going to sit here and drag other people because they marry communal peen too, unless I want to be shady and let them throw those hits at me.
Right. No. But if you're talking about Ashley, yes, agree. Like I said, sit down, take your nups, be rich. Don't talk about relationships. With her, I agree. But with the whole, we talking about Monique and Giselle, because Monique is the one who just drug her all over the carpet. She has every right to.
Listen, I think it's funny, but I for one, Monique's been on this 4 seasons, and I don't know enough about her, and I have a feeling if you go in the box of Monique and her past, I'm sure it's been a 1-2 with several different women. If you look at Chris, what is he always doing? He's retired, and she's always home alone with the children. I wouldn't sit here and read, because we all know Giselle is desperate, and she needed that reading for filth. But when later seasons come and when people start to read your marriage, I don't want to hear, oh, this is my marriage. How dare you destroy it?
But they already did that, though. Let's not forget that they already did that. They had a plot behind the scenes to go after her family, and you're talking about her marriage too. So this is not coming out of nowhere, and that's my main point. Monique is just arbitrarily do this to Giselle. Giselle started it. Monique's gonna finish it, and that's where it is. It's not like Monique. Oh, let me just pick out Giselle. Monique kind of stays to herself for the most part, if we're being honest. They did this behind the scenes. She found out about it. She been holding on to it. Candace got the physical part because they were friends, the closest, and she got frustrated, combined with her man. She shouldn't have put her hands on the little girl, but she did. So that's where all that came from. People want to forget that before the season, we heard about all this.
No, and I agree. I didn't say Giselle is not worth it, right? I agree. Monique has every right to do what she did and to return the energy. But you got to be careful on who you return the energy to. And you got to be careful about snakes like Giselle. Because Giselle does not fight fair. And Giselle is going to do some shady mess the next season. And we already know your husband and his mother don't get along. And we already know the Green-Eyed Bandits is always looking for a story and always looking to turn it out for no reason. So when you check somebody like Giselle, I don't think the check is clear enough for her to
Mm-hmm.
stop. I just think this
Mm-hmm.
is going to give her some more ignition and put
Mm-hmm.
that battery in her back to drive even harder.
So basically, more so like you're adding the fire's not out. You just add
No,
a little more. You just added more lighter fluid to it, basically.
correct.
Gotcha. Okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that. But I I was here for it. I loved it.
Because if we're going to be honest, while I'm going to give it to Monique, she didn't write those reads and she didn't do all of that. She had people get in a forensic accounting, and because she wasn't taping for the last 6 to 8 weeks, she done figure out everybody to go and read her. But you know what? When you have money, go and get you a read.
Right. That's what you do. When you have money, that's what you do.
But I'm
At least this was money better spent than on her website or podcast that nobody knows about for lazy moms.
Mhm.
This was money well spent.
Because if we're going to be honest, see, she couldn't have talked to me like that, even if I was in the wrong. Honey, I was reading her down when I was watching it. You, but that's a whole nother thing because I have a feeling I'm going to be, arguing with the TV because I just refuse for a chick like Monique to read me after what I see on the television. Even though I don't hate Monique, I just don't think she messaged well with these group of women.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Off topic, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy, is it me, or would Wendy do way better on her own show? Because for some reason, I like her better with her family than with the other women. So when I see her with her family,
No, that's not it.
Nope.
Wendy would do better with women who are more accomplished.
Mm.
You just have to have if Wendy, because this is what the woman wanted to say, but they didn't articulate it well enough. They are threatened by Wendy because of her education. Because when she goes into rooms, she is that girl. She's working for John Hopkins. She's that girl on this show. And in order to snatch her down, they're like, well, I'm this, well, I'm that. If Wendy were a woman with her own playing field, I don't think the 4 degrees would come up as often.
Mm-hmm. But she is much more likable when she's at home with her husband and the kids, or even in the pumpkin patch with her mom, or the mom teaching the kids Igbo. Like, that's when I liked her. But once she got amongst the women, I didn't really like her.
No, you would. If she were, say, if she was like on Married to Medicine, she would do a lot better. Because those women are more accomplished. Those women don't sit here and whine about nothing. They have work to go to. She would be with her peers. If this was like all lawyers, she would do well with that. All people in the political atmosphere. If they were activists, it would make them. It was better with Wendy. Wendy is not like the other girls because they don't relate. Because these girls, I'm sorry, I don't know who works because I don't think any of them do.
But with Wendy, though, Married to Medicine wouldn't work for her. Now, I would like to see Ivy on Married to Medicine and Wendy as a friend of Ivy. I think that could play in because Wendy's not a medical doctor, so she really wouldn't fit in. But you put Ivy on Married to Medicine, like Married to Medicine GC, put Wendy on there as like a special guest star, special guest friend. I would watch it all day. And I agree with the Blobby on this one. If Wendy were with women who are more of her educational level, I know it sounds bad to say, but that's the only way I know how to put it. The 4 degrees wouldn't come up as much because she wouldn't need to say it. So I'm going to go with you, Blobby, on that one. I'm going to go with you on that one.
And 2, I think even though I'm liking this season, this is time for Bravo to make a very good pivot, right? Don't sit here and have this good reunion and mess it up. I think that, I hate to say this, Robin needs to be a friend of the show. Ashley needs to get off the show.
Yes.
Wendy, you know what? I'm going to give Wendy another season. But you need somebody who's a little bit more politically inclined and somebody who's a little bit brighter and a little bit more put together.
Bobby, quick question. Could you see them bringing like a litigator, a prosecutor, DA type.
I don't think they would do it. I'm thinking more so a retired judge or
Okay,
somebody like that.
gotcha.
Somebody that's accomplished, and because I really want to see somebody like at the end of their career, but more
Oh,
so, yeah, like
okay,
somebody a little bit more retired, because I don't think
okay.
like you would want to have the show, and I think that would mess up your work.
Mm-hmm.
Or somebody who, is an activist, is in the room, because they're so close to DC to not even bring that up.
Mhm.
What about Angela Rye?
I don't think she would do it.
Well, yeah, she probably wouldn't, but someone like her with
Yeah,
her type of energy would be like, I would love that.
you just need, and I hate to say this, they need their franchise person. And that's, I think, the problem with Potomac. Like, they have a lot of good side characters, but they need that girl.
Mhm.
But haven't they been pushing Giselle into that slot?
Well, Giselle's just not, I hate to say this. Giselle is a very pretty girl, right? But
God.
that's all she is.
So, Blobby. So basically, what the problem with Giselle is this. Maybe let me see if I'm understanding. This is gonna sound mean, but there's no one on the show that's accomplished enough to really hold that title. Basically,
Correct. Well, it's not just it's a mixture, right?
a mixture, right?
Because Monique likes to pretend she's so accomplished, but the only thing you've done is slept with a rich man. And I mean, sis, get your money how you get it. But you were a struggling rapper. And if you didn't marry Chris, you would still be a struggling rapper. Like, you don't bring anything to the table for me.
No, I mean,
You, you don't
I
you
get what
don't
you're
have
saying.
the personality like a Nene or like a Candy. You have to bring something when you go on this show. And I think when you're just a housewife, even though shout out to you, shout out to the kids, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, because you want to see what's more the substance behind you. Like you want to see the substance behind the housewife. Because you have Candy on Atlanta. You now you probably have Kathy Hilton on Beverly Hills. Like each franchise has someone who's a mixture of personality, substance, and accomplishments. And Potomac doesn't have that. So I
Because
get
because where they live, I wish they did Prince County and not Potomac. They have a lot of black people with a lot of money that live in the area. They need to go. In fact, Bravo, you call me up, I will help you out and find you your star. Because these women, there just needs to be one woman who is like, it. The other people are not it. Giselle, while is pretty, she can't keep a man, and we don't like seeing that. We've seen it. What warning, Kenya Moore fans? Warning. We saw that with Kenya. I mean, it's not. I would like to see somebody. Yeah, yes,
yeah. Very good way to put it, Willow. Very good
Mm-hmm.
way to put it.
yes. I just need. I need somebody a little bit more. They have to stop being so lazy. They really do. Because there's a woman out there that can bring us all. Even, I feel like with Potomac, do you think they just don't have the budget? Because even Beverly Hills, they do really well. But something about Potomac and Atlanta, they can't find a new woman, worth anything.
I think what it is, and I could be wrong. I think with casting, they don't look outside of their bubble, like for Atlanta. And what I really wanted to see, I wanted to see like an Atlanta Falcons like wife. I wanted
Mhm.
to see like maybe like one of Arthur Blank's granddaughters on the show. Like my grandfather's Arthur Blank. He owns half of the Atlanta Falcons. I
Mm.
come from this money. But I have maybe like a little boutique on in Buckhead somewhere. One of them
You
little
want to know
people.
something? You want to be messy a bit?
Just
Oh
that much.
God.
I heard, allegedly, Marlo was the mistress of Ted Turner Tim Turner. I don't know what his name
Ted
is.
Turner.
Ted Turner, yeah.
The owner of CNN allegedly on those streets.
I remember
I've
hearing
heard that too, and she's denied
She
it.
denied that. We were like, nah.
But if you look into her documentation, a male lover, I'm not going to tell you who, bought her and her mother their house.
I think she owned up to that too.
Finally.
She is a very well, but I understand why they won't have Marlo, but they do.
Yeah.
They do need somebody else. I know you haven't watched the episode. I refuse to. Again, Drew Sidora was what I thought Drew Sidora would be. Garbage. Latoya for life was what I thought she would be. Garbage.
Wait, they
We're doing-
introduced
we're-
both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do it like
Oh.
Debbie. Let's do it like this week. Like since there's not much to this, we can just do like a little mini recap sometime this week after you watch it. Just
Yeah.
let me know. But going back to Atlanta, like let's go back to their casting real quick. Like Arthur Blaine's granddaughter. Like give me like a side piece of Trae Young, the point guard for the Atlanta Hawks.
No,
Like-
I don't want athletes because I think it's too.
No.
Because I don't want to hear about Camille Peen cheating on you. I want more. Let me think. I want new money. I want a little bit more new money, and I want a little bit like, who I would love to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I know she won't do it. Tamar Braxton. I'm sorry. They need somebody like her.
We've been saying that for years, though.
Yeah.
Years.
But they won't do it.
Nope.
They need her, or even a Toni Braxton would be great, but Toni won't do it.
No.
Mm-mm.
I'm thinking who else would do it. You know who else would be pretty? No, she's pretty boring. I was going to say Chili, but Chili don't want to, tell all her business. You know who would be good but I know she wouldn't do it. Usher's ex-wife, because we could know about him and the gay rumors. We could know about how she was out in the industry doing it.
She probably signed so many non-disclosure agreements
Right.
with that divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I'm trying to figure out who we would get. Or maybe, Sierra doesn't live there anymore. But we need somebody who, is in charge of the girls.
No, I agree. I mean, they
Wendy
casting this thing
Williams.
off.
Wendy Williams should be on New York. That's where she should be. She should go on New York. Because New York is
the
so
problem with
big.
Atlanta is just very dry, and I blame casting completely. I don't blame the women because they on the show getting a check. I blame Bravo because they should have been recasted and they didn't do it.
Because this is Candy's last season. I hate to say it.
Oh yeah, Candy got to go.
And Kenya has maybe 2 more.
I need Candy and I keep telling people, y'all may not like this. I'm gonna need Candy and Todd to go produce their own show on Bravo. I don't care what it is. It could be a show with Candy, Rashida, Tiny, something like that. Go produce that.
You know who I want? Okay, I'm about to be messy again. And I know this person would never do it. I want Tyler Perry's girlfriend to be on it because allegedly Tyler had a relationship with one of the hairstylists on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And that's how I'm going to leave it.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Allegedly.
Oh.
But yeah, get Candy off the show. Bring back in Phaedra because I do want to see Phaedra, Apollo, and the new fiance. I want to see that dynamic.
I love Phaedra, but Phaedra can't come on because what she did was so vile. Like, I love Phaedra, but what she did was so vile.
If she actually owned up to it and apologized fully for it, I would want her to come back on. But again, that would mean Candy would have to go.
You know who I would also like? I would like some of Auntie's Corner. But see, the problem with Auntie's Corner is I can only tolerate them for so long because Auntie's Corner, even though they would be good on that show, Auntie's Corner, for those that don't know, is that Fox Soul show with Claudia Jordan and all of them.
Mm.
But the problem with Auntie's Corner, they don't want to sit here and really tell their business.
Yeah.
Because Claudia was boring on the show.
Yes. Very.
You know
Yeah.
who was good? But I know she would never do it. Queen Latifah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She
I'm
would
sure
never
Kim
do it.
Fields already ran everything back to her. She's like, "No, don't do it."
I don't
So
know
yeah,
who. That's the thing, though. Maybe they should go for somebody we don't know.
right.
But I hate to say this. You got to get a Nene before season 6. And I hate to say this.
No, you're not wrong. It's just like finding somebody we don't know or who's not really that connected into the entertainment world, because Bravo has been leaning on entertainment related people, which is the problem. Bring us like a real estate developer, bring us a
Oh, I got the
lawyer.
perfect person. You watch Love, Marriage, Huntsville?
Sporadically.
Oh, the divorce, the couple
The
that's
divorce one,
divorcing.
Melanie?
Yeah. Make her move to Atlanta. Yeah. She can do it. She's shady enough. She likes television. She has the money enough. Marcel is gold. She will come for Kenya throat. Kenya will come for hers. She would be great. But I don't think she'll do it because that's less power.
Right.
And then
Right.
two, they need to hire Carlos King again as a producer on the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Okay, they do. Again, Candy would have to go.
She would. Because they
Because
gave her too much power and she's not what gets you to watch the show. And that was their biggest mistake. It doesn't matter who you like the best. It matters who gets people to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
oh, agreed. That's the problem when Phaedra did what she did and some of the behind the scenes stuff came out. It's like they had no choice. It's like, oh, because
Wait,
Candy, like, I'm sorry, like, I know we're
is
gonna do a
she?
mini Atlanta review later, but I have to say this. I just don't care about this show. I'm going to
Carlos
be honest.
King does Love, Marriage, Huntsville.
Right. But he was on Atlanta, and when everything came out behind the scenes, he got fired.
Correct.
But they need Candy for the good of their show. Candy gotta go. Like I said, throw her a spinoff. Just this is what Bravo. That's what you do. Just throw spinoffs out there to get rid of people. Bring Phaedra back if she apologizes. Bring back Carlos King to produce. Bring in Apollo and Shireen, his new fiance. Get rid of Drew Sidora and Drew. I'm not gonna say get rid of Drew because she's too new. We don't know her yet.
Get rid of her. She was boring on the game.
I want to get Drew. I want to give Drew a chance because she's new. I don't know her. I like her much better than Latoya. Latoya got on my nerves.
Who's
She was
Stormy
doing the
Wellington?
most.
Who's Stormy Wellington?
Stormy Wellington?
Yeah, Trey said Stormy Wellington. Who's that?
Oh, I have no
I've
idea.
heard the name. Is she, maybe in the blogs I've heard that name from somewhere.
You know who I would want? And she would do the show, but it might be a little bit too love and hip hop. What's her name? Corinne Stephens. I was going to say her street name. I had a really.
Don't she have like multiple gag orders?
And she don't care. Or maybe a New York from I Love New York. You know, somebody.
But yeah, but I'm not here. Like I said, I'm not here for Latoya. She worked my nerves. Drew. Here's the thing with Drew. Here's what I want to happen with Drew. I just don't want her to be Cynthia's friend the whole season.
Oh, I know who Stormy Wellington is. She's the scammer online that be selling you all those flat tummy tees and the MLM and the hood version of Avon. Yeah,
It's multi-level marketing and direct sales.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I know who
She
she
would.
is.
She's another. Oh God, what's her name? Lisa McLeod.
Hmm.
She's another. She's one of those.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know who
broccoli.
she is. No,
Oh,
she can stay in the streets and make her 100,000. She had me all the way messed up when it was Black Lives. Let me stop because she's getting my blood to boil again.
Oh my God.
oh
No,
my goodness.
don't do that.
Oh, good grief.
But yeah,
That's just
Corinne Steffens would be. Listen, one thing we know about Corinne is she don't know how to shut her mouth and she tells everybody's business.
true.
Mm.
But I think she would be too much of a liability even for Bravo at this point. I'm just gonna be honest. I will be honest.
You know who my friend said? She said Drita. I was like, no,
No.
I don't like what do I call?
Drita.
Yeah, Tweety Bird. Ooh, she was such a bird.
Drita from Mob Wives?
No, Drita
Oh
from
God.
Oh,
I'm not even
Drea.
thinking.
Drea.
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 Oh, wait, what show was she on?
Basketball Wives
Basketball
LA.
Wives LA.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Does anybody want to work with her?
I mean,
You know what I would put her on? I would call her the Garden Tools of Hollywood. I would have her, Larissa Pippen, Evelyn Lozado.
Everybody always says Larsa Pippen, but she just reminds me of like, I don't know, like cardboard. It's just dull, flat, and it says nothing.
Larissa Pippen can't be on Atlanta Housewife because they would set it off. They would set it off. Let me see. Lisa,
Oh, Lisa Ray McCoy.
no, because Lisa, she got a nasty attitude.
That's
Um,
perfect.
I would prefer Vivica because her and Kenya on The Apprentice was gold. That's who I would prefer.
yeah, it was.
But didn't they
I
make
watched
up
it.
though?
And you know who else? I got it. I got it. Star Jones, Vivica Fox, Kenya. We gotta bring back Nene. I'm sorry, Nene and Portia. Now that
Well,
would
wait a minute. Doesn't Star Jones's ex-husband show up on one of these shows every
yes,
now and again? In
because
Atlanta.
Kenya. Yes.
Ah, that'd be
But Bobby,
interesting.
we need 2 more wives though. 5 doesn't work.
5,
You got
and then we find 2 new chicks.
okay. There we go.
Two Cynthias, but a little bit more common sense, a little less whiny and crying. Even though, like Nene, I agree, she needs one more year timeout. But if we had all 5 of those, Nene would have to humble herself. She would have to.
Yeah.
Can you like that's what I think that's Atlanta.
Yeah.
I
Those
think
5 was 2 new girls. I can
those
go with
5
that.
with 2 new girls.
I can go with that.
I mean, maybe we bring Missy and Mercy for a season and see how they do in Atlanta. I mean,
You mean from
Madonna and Mercy.
Oh, wait, you
A bloggy important.
see,
bloggy
Madame
important
would
people
eat
that
would eat everybody in the tank. I don't know. She's a strong personality.
But that would be a good mix because those are strong women. Mercy's like the Cynthia, and like they would have to, and be like, and then this is another thing. There's no such thing as I'm not filming with somebody. There's no such thing as I'm not going on the trip. And there's no such thing and there's no throwing hands or drinks. We could do the season.
Or butter knives.
Or butter knives.
Or hair pulls.
Now you could pull,
right.
you could shake a wig.
No, because then that could lead to something else. You shift the wrong person's wig. Yeah, no. I say
Imagine those 7. We got our season.
Exactly. Because I've been telling people, they're like, why do you think Atlanta's gonna suck? I'm like, well, according to blogs, the first 4 episodes suck. We're just getting to know the 2 new girls. They're gonna drag out Strippergate. We know what's gonna happen there. and there's only five. There's only five housewives. It's not gonna work. It's gonna be horrible.
Maybe one of the girls from, but see, actors don't like to do that show when they have a sitcom. That's why. But I think why I say Madame and Mercy is because I think we need a little bit more African, or you need a Caribbean. You need somebody who is not from America. They need just a little different flavoring in there.
Like maybe
A Caribbean girl. They need
yeah,
something different in Atlanta.
like maybe like someone who owns like maybe a like some like Caribbean restaurants, like a restaurant tour, something like that. Something like that. I get that. I can see that.
I think they should have a Caribbean, and I think they should have an African, simply because there's a lot of Africans with money that live in Atlanta. So and a bit more,
Flavor.
because if they had Madame and Mercy, remember how they went to South Africa the first time? They need to start having more trips in Africa, because Africa is beautiful. And while I enjoy Europe and wherever else they go, it's time for them to go to Africa a little bit more especially the black ones.
Yeah, I agree with like having a different flavor within Atlanta due to the demographic and all that good stuff. So I agree with that.
Or somebody who's Afro-Brazilian would be nice too, and have that and how their culture is. And then, me, because I'm a fat person and love food, I would love to see the different eateries and have like different scenes of delicious food. Not like Love After Lockup, but that's another situation.
I mean, Blavi, you need to get into Andy Cohen's DMs and get on this.
Listen, no, I'm not going to give Andy Cohen nothing, because Andy Cohen would take my idea, make millions, and then try to drag me online for telling him, where's my cut?
Oh my God. And on that note, let's do final thoughts, because I know, Jamal, you have to go. Yeah.
Final thoughts. I watched A Mama's Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why it was 2 hours. Nevertheless, we'll talk about that later. Atlanta is not worth watching. Atlanta has to bring the fire. Potomac, I'm here for it. I also have a question about Potomac. Did Jamal Bryan go to the reunion?
She said no.
She said he's not coming.
Okay. I think that this is a humbling experience for Giselle, and I think Giselle should really not fight back, which I know is her first instinct, and really just take your L graciously. Understand sometimes even a pretty girl has trouble with men. Go into the get a psychological revaluation. Love yourself. Get you some businesses. Get you a home decor. Get you a stylist. Get you a beautician. And take your friend Robin with you when you go. And take Ashley too, because Ashley looked a mess on that stage. And I'm sorry. Oh, we didn't drag Ashley for a minute. I hope we get to the bottom of Michael and his I guess bisexuality, and he can come out and proud and open and say, I like peen too, because we're not going another season with he pretending to be straight. That is unacceptable for me. That's my last word.
For me, usual.
Like Atlanta, I'm at this point, I knew the first 4 seasons, the first 4 episodes weren't going to be great. Based on the first 2.
Oh yeah,
I'm kind of like almost with Debbie. I've lost hope, but I'm holding on. I'm just holding on to get past these first 4. Potomac, I mean, granted, I'm mad I had to suffer through a whole 20-something episode season just to get to this. I mean, like, okay, but I'm here for the reunion only. If I'm gonna be honest, Giselle, just be gracious, like Bobby said.
What? I'm sorry to cut you off. You know what Bravo should start doing? They should start firing people before the reunion, because too many people use the reunion as the way to get back in the next season and give us a boring season. You should be fired after the last episode. You shouldn't get the reunion to come back and start mess. Go on.
And I'm not sure if you guys feel the same way, but the first part of the reunion really shines a light on how lackluster Robin really is, because she had no moments of her own. She tried to insert herself into stuff to get a moment, but it just didn't happen. So I'm like, dang, are you that? You're really
Mhm.
that dry that
She's
you
easily
didn't have
shut
not one
down.
moment, not
Yeah, she's
one.
easily shut down.
So okay, and that's pretty much it. I
Well,
like, and
I mean, Jamal, if she got to get her hair dye at Walmart and use the Walmart bag to get her wig together, that's saying something.
I mean, but it was just weird because it just shined a light because like you kept kind of waiting. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't waiting for Robin's segment, but I was hoping Robin would have a segment or something, and there was just nothing there. It was like, wow, why are we
Well,
keeping
all
you on
she
the
had
show?
was the engagement, and we haven't gotten that far into the season.
But I'm just saying that's saying something that like
Hmm.
if you're breaking it the season up into chunks per you know chunks per number of episodes, like basically 7 episodes would be in reunion part one. Out of 7 episodes, you don't do nothing. That says a lot. I'm just saying that just says a lot.
And it will become more evident as we see part two and part three
Right.
because basically Monique has been out of the season for 3/4 of it. And so if she has a lot to say, but then again, if I've been excluded for most of the season, I'm going to sit there and get my receipts together and come back at you because I haven't been talking for most of this time. I've been sitting there and stewing. So it's really going to show that stupid receipt book that Monique has is going to speak more powerfully and more often than poor Robin is.
Yeah,
Robin is
that's
going to have a
true.
very hard time to justify why exactly she's on this show.
I mean, it's kind of sad when the receipt book outshines you.
Hmm.
You didn't
I'm
get.
really interesting to see what her receipts are on Robin, and I'm really interested to see what her receipts are on Wendy, and I'm really interested to see what her receipts are on Karen.
The
Well,
receipt. Go
it's
ahead.
all sorry. It's very interesting to note that Wendy and Robin are the only ones who did not have a code name. I can understand Wendy because Wendy has just arrived. Robin been here throughout, and she doesn't even get enough credit to get a nickname.
So the receipts for Wendy, I think, because this came out earlier, that the way Wendy's acting, the way Wendy reacted to the fight is on the camera is not the same as she acted
Oh,
off camera.
yeah, yeah.
That's there's according to the people, there are text messages where Wendy was very sympathetic with Monique and was kind of on her side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, receipts
Yeah.
on Robin going to be coupons. That's so wrong. That's so wrong. That is so wrong.
And I'm waiting for her because although she's checking Giselle, I'm really waiting to see Candace, and because I already know she has receipts on Ashley. That's why Ashley did that write up. I'm
Right.
really interested to see the receipts on Candace. I mean, yeah, Candace. And I'm really interested to see the dynamic. I hope they start shooting the next season like right after the reunion, you know? Like, don't wait a few months for people to
Right.
apologize and go,
Hmm.
"Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings." Why can't Michael tell people that he's more attracted to men? Because Michael is of a particular age where you were
Hmm.
gay, but you didn't say it.
Yeah.
And Michael has Ashley, and Ashley knew when she got with him what he liked to do. And Ashley had to clean it up because she was embarrassed by y'all.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All right, so guys,
Yeah.
I will see you tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow, though?
Chantel, the family Chantel, I
TLC.
think tonight
Chantel.
is their finale.
Mm-hmm.
So we should get to see those
Yes.
horrible wedding outfits.
Mm-hmm. Mama's
Um,
Boy?
yeah, we could talk a little bit about Mama's Boy. I think I made some notes on that because it was their finale as well last night.
What else?
I don't know. I think 2
90
shows
Day,
is
right?
maximum. Oh, 90
I
Day, we could talk a little bit about that.
did it and Adam already, but I mean, if you want to go back.
We could squeeze in a little bit if we have time.
And then I can think you can squeeze a little bit of Atlanta because I think 90 Day and Atlanta will take 15 minutes each. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll watch
Yeah.
Atlanta then. I'll watch it now.
Yes, watch those. Did you by chance start watching Florida Bama?
Not yet.
No.
Okay. It's no rush because I figure you can start now because Chantel is off and so is Mama's Boy.
Yeah, we can add them in. We can add that in to replace those two.
You
That
will
works perfectly.
okay. I'm gonna tell you, it's a little bit Jersey Shore 2009. So I don't know how you feel about that, but that's where we are with this show. And the one I want you to be looking out for is the black girl and the fake James Corbin and that relationship. That's it.
So are we going back to season 1 or are we picking up from this season? Where should we be watching?
Like, this is how I do it. I don't know about you, but I don't need to watch every episode. You know, I go every 4.
Every 4
Every 4.
Because you drink, you party, and you know, and then
Gotcha.
you know, like you don't need to see that.
Ah, okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. So I will see you tomorrow, and
Yes,
happy to everybody. See you tomorrow, and we'll be messy again.
Yes,
All
we
right.
will. Oh my God. I've got homework to do. See, you told me not to watch Atlanta.
No, I said don't. I said was don't hold out too much hope. That's what it is. Don't expect too much. And I was right.
God. I'm just like I was just last season I bailed on it, and this season I'm just not encouraged to watch Atlanta, and I just never thought that I would be saying that.
Me neither. It's a casting thing. That's all.
Yeah. I still think you should like ring a ding Andy Cohen. Offer him some
but
ideas.
look, this is what you're doing wrong.
Mm-mm. All right, my friend.
All right.
Until tomorrow, thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow with more mess.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.